All right, here's a quick start guide on how to pressure wash your car. First off, you're gonna need a pressure washer. I know some of the videos will say that you'll need a really nice pressure washer. They'll be like 600 bucks, whatever. Don't listen to that, bro. All you need is a little Ryobi pressure washer. The one thing you want to look at when buying a pressure washer is PSI and then gallons per minute. I think 1.2 gallons per minute is pretty much like the least you can go to get a decent foam out of your pressure cannon. And then 2000 psi, that's the pressure that comes out of the nozzle. 2000 psi is just fine. You can even go down to 1800. I wouldn't go any higher just because the more pressure you put on your car, you know, it can be bad for the paint, especially when you got little flakes like this right here. Like this right here, you know, it's open holes in your paint, and then if you put too much pressure, you'll start flaking off your paint. And it's happened to me before with higher pressure washers at a dealership. Not my car, not no customer's car, new car. And exactly, new car, new paint, and it still happened if it had a too high of pressure. So 2000 psi, 1800 psi is just fine. This one, I think I got it for like 200 bucks. You can get it one for like 150 for the 1800. If it doesn't have this, it's fine. If it's just this little thing with no wheels, nothing, it's fine. This actually, I started detailing cars for money, and then this is actually a little bit too big to fit in the trunk of my Mazda, so I actually had to take this top off, and then so I just carry the bottom part, and it's still like, I don't know, it's too big. I'm like, if I could have just had the pressure washer by itself with the handle, it would have done just fine. But all right, so that's it. Step one, pressure washer, 150, 200 bucks. We'll see, maybe get a deal on it. And just a side note, you can also get quick disconnects for these hoses. Instead of having to screw them on every single time, I got the quick disconnects. You know, it just allows me to quickly connect and disconnect the hoses like that. Squeeze. Once it clicks, you're good. And you know, so if I'm doing this like many times, you know, those quick disconnects are actually kind of pretty convenient. You can get the specs from your manual to see which ends you actually need. Step two, onto getting your pressure washer. All right, you can decide whether or not to get a stubby gun, which is the gun without the wand. Of course, the wand over here. You can see the difference. I mean, it's not a big deal if you stick with the stock gun, aka the stock that comes with it. But the only thing is, whenever you connect this with your pressure cannon, or your foam cannon is going to be like 3 feet in front of you, and it's not really convenient. I mean, you can, whatever, 2 hands, but it's super easy when it's right next to your hand. Center of gravity is closer to you. But yeah, that's just it's more convenient to have this one. I think this one was like 30 bucks, maybe 60 bucks. I'm not too sure. Get it on Amazon. You can get a cheap one just to start out. Like, what if you don't like pressure washing your car? You might not end up liking it. Don't spend all your money on it without knowing that you for sure like it. For example, I've had this one for like, I'm gonna say maybe over a year now. Still working good. And it's not just washing my car either. I've actually been washing other people's cars for money, and it's already paid itself off. So, you know, it's all right. You don't need to go too expensive. All right. So once you've decided on what kind of gun you want, stock gun or new stubby gun, this is a Torque stubby gun, I think what it's called. Anyways, you want to get a different orifice. Orifice is the little tiny pin. I don't know if you see that little slit in the hole. That little thing is called an orifice. You can actually get a screwdriver and screw that out with the little flathead or whatever. Anyways, that orifice is there's actually one inside of this foam cannon. So you're basically gonna screw the silver part, and there's an orifice in there. You want to get a different orifice than the one that comes with it, because the one that comes with the foam cannon is made for higher pressure, gas powered power washers. So once you swap it out, your foam cannon will actually, you know, spit out foamy soap instead of just liquidy soap. And obviously, you know, if you don't swap it out, it'll be liquidy soap because it's a lower pressure, lower gallons per minute, lower pressure washer. So you want to swap out your orifice. I think I'll try to put a link in the description below. You can buy it on Amazon. You can't. I've tried finding it at Home Depot or whatever. I cannot find them anywhere. You have to order them from Amazon. I think they're like, I don't know, 10 bucks for like a pair of 2. and it's not that hard to swap it out. But yes, get your orifice and put it in. And then next thing, of course, you want to get your foam cannon. You can find a foam cannon at Amazon for maybe around 20 bucks. This one's from Chemical Guys, so it's about 80 bucks. I'm just bougie like that. I wanted to get the, you know, better grade one. But the one from Amazon will work just fine. 20 bucks, get your orifice, 25 bucks. Pressure washer, 150, maybe, I don't know, 200 bucks to start out. Of course, you want to do your two bucket method. Of course, like I said, I'm bougie. These are dirt traps from them. So when you dip your mitt, the dirt falls to the bottom and it doesn't get your water on top super dirty. Just keeps away the dirt, of course, because the whole point of pressure washing your car with a foam cannon is to not agitate the paint as much, so you can avoid all those swirls. So basically, when you put on the foam will lift up the dirt, and then you know, it'll be easier to clean it without agitating the dirt instead of rubbing the dirt on it and creating those swirls. So when you dip it with these dirt traps, you know, it'll keep the dirt down, you know, basically avoiding as much dirt as possible. And so yeah, guys, that's basically the setup that you need. And of course, the foaming soap. Man, guys, if you can, just buy these big old bottles. I mean, you don't have to get Chemical Guys, but you can buy these nozzles and you can just pump it. Save a lot of money. I've been having this one for months now. Alright, guys, see, I have this big old jug for sure, you know, pump it. And if I'm ever going to wash other people's cars, I just simply take this. This is just an extra container from Chemical Guys. I pour that into this, you know, that way I don't have to carry out around this thing. And it's more secure that it's not gonna spill over, you know, whatever. And so basically I just fill this up around the 200 milliliter line. 200 milliliter, that's like, I wanna say that's basically enough to wash 2 cars. If you fill it up to this line right here. I mean, you fill it up 200 milliliters, fill it up to this line with water, and then just mix it up real good. And that should be enough to wash 2 cars. If you're just washing 1 car, I guess half of that line, I don't know if you see it, 200 milliliters, half of that will be enough to wash 1 car. Fill it up halfway with water, and then you're set. All right, guys, let me go ahead and fill up these buckets. One is a adding soap bucket, and one's a rinsing bucket. Of course, this one has wheels and a lid, so I can sit down on it, so I can, you know, wipe it, so I don't bust my back. So, all right, and the next thing is to go ahead and rinse off the car. All right. That's one of the benefits of having an electrical power washer. It doesn't have to run continuously the whole time, so it's not as loud and your neighbors won't hate you. So basically when you let off, you know, it will repressurize to where it needs to be, and then it just turns off once it's pressurized. So bucket number 1. Bucket number 2. Also, don't forget to add a couple of squirts into your adding foam bucket. So it has soap. All right, soap bucket's all filled up. Now to add water to the foam cannon. Probably shouldn't have turned the pressure washer on. It's okay. So once you got it filled up, just swirl it around. You want to swirl it, not shake it. I don't know why, but that's what they told me to do, and it works. So bet. All right, rinse off the car now. When rinsing off the car, of course, you're gonna want to use the correct nozzle. As you see, you have different kinds of nozzles with different orifices inside of them. They'll say on here, like, I don't know if you see that 15. It's 15 degrees. That 15 degrees of the fan that comes out. And then there's 25. There's 45. And then, but my favorite one to use is, of course, the 15. 15, just because it's not too big. The bigger the fan is, the less pressure is going to come out, of course. So 15 degrees is fine for me. So let's do that. Cool, got it on, and here we go. As for the wheels, I like to use this turbo nozzle, and more likely if you buy a Ryobi pressure washer, you'll get one of these turbo nozzles. And what this turbo nozzle is basically a 0-degree orifice. So basically you'll get just a single stream, but at the same time it rotates. So you get a better, more agitation. See, so it's so the wheels of course are more dirtier, so I would like something a little rougher. I would not recommend using this on your paint. So like I said, I got some flaking right there. I would not want to put it on that because of course it would have flaked some more. Let's finish rinsing this off. Now for the foam. Of course, I still need to do the other side, but that just goes to show you that you can get good results in a low pressure power washer. You don't need to spend $400 or $500 on a pressure washer. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish this off. Now we just rinse off and dry up, and that's it. It's pretty much it of what goes on to pressure washing your car. Basically, some people think that you don't have to, wipe it down after you put soap on it. Some people think you just put soap on it and then rinse it. That's not exactly the case, unless your car is like ceramic, coated in ceramic, and just kept up pretty clean and pressure washed almost weekly. I think you'd be able to get away with that, but it makes it easier. It makes it less time of going back and forth to the bucket because there's already soap on the car and it's just more lubricated and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much what goes into pressure washing your car. I hope I made it super simple, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you leave in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys.